To begin in SPSS, the first thing you want to do is always open a new data set and flip right to variable view. The first step is always to enter your variables. For this example, we're going to enter the first one, attachment style. Remember, you can't have any spaces in between, so I used an underscore. Once you have that entered, you remember that attachment style is a qualitative variable. It has categories, so we need to enter the value labels. So you go right to this values column, press the little box right next to that, and then we'll basically just code our categories. So we have 1 is secure, 2 will be anxious, and 3 will be avoidant. Once you have all your categories in, you can simply press OK. Next, we want to add our dependent variable, which is quantitative, and that's going to be the amount of deep sleep. And because it's quantitative, we don't need to do anything with the value labels. So we're simply going to go switch down here to data view. And then we'll see that each participant has a row. So you have participant 1, 2, 3, and so on. And for each participant, you'll add their attachment style. So 1 for secure, 2 for anxious, and 3 for avoidant. And then the amount of deep sleep that they recorded. I'm going to switch to this data set that has already been entered. Just to show you how to simply enter, you take the first participant, let's say they were anxious. So I can either type a 2, and it'll show that that is anxious, or I can write in anxious, and it'll do the same thing. And then I would enter their amount of deep sleep. So let's say 45. Not sure if that's in any way accurate, but it's just a good depiction of how to enter for each person. So let me switch to a finished version of this data set that we see here. So you'll see that each participant has been entered with their attachment style and their amount of deep sleep. Now if you look at this column, all of these participants are coded with numbers. So that's basically just the category that we coded in the value labels. If you go up to View and click Value Labels, it'll switch it back to the wording that is attached to those codes. And we'll switch it back to numbers. Alright, so now that we have all of our data entered, we want to know what it looks like. So we're going to go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and Frequencies. Now let's get the frequency data for attachment style first. So keep it highlighted, press the arrow, we'll flip it over there, and then we want to know what kind of statistics we can get. If you'll recall, the only statistics that we can get with a qualitative variable is mode. So we're going to click that and then press continue. And then we want to get a chart. So we click that next button, Charts. And also, a qualitative variable can only get a bar chart. So we'll click bar chart. Don't mess with this stuff down here. Press continue and then OK. And it'll switch to the output. Let me find that real quick. Right here. This first box gives us how many were entered and the mode of 1. Doesn't really make much sense here. Here we have our frequency distribution, so each group and then how many appear in each group, the percent within each, and if we were to call this relative frequency, just move the decimal 2 places to the left and be 0.33 for each. You'll notice the cumulative percent column as well. And then we have this lovely bar chart, and since all of the groups have equal numbers, the bars are even. Take note that the axes are labeled. The x-axis is the actual attachment style, and the y-axis is the frequency. So we can go back to our data. Not that one. Let's see if I can find it here. Right here. And now we want to get the frequencies for delta sleep, or deep sleep. So we go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and Frequencies. And we can move that attachment style back over. The easiest way is to just double click it. Now I want delta sleep over there. We can click on Statistics, and we need to add a few. We can now get the median, the mean, we can get the standard deviation, the variance, and the range. Let's continue. And we need to change which chart we're looking at too. We no longer have a bar chart because this is a quantitative variable. We need a histogram. Let's continue, and OK. Flip us back to our output, and again, here we see all our statistics. So the mean is 18.66, median is 8, the mode is 17, standard deviation 3.345, variance, range, and so on. Here is our frequency distribution. This would be an instance where you'd probably want to create a grouped frequency table, since it looks like we have quite a few values or scores. And then lastly, our histogram, with delta sleep going on the x-axis and frequency along the y. And very simply, that is how you enter data and analyze frequency statistics.